Welcome everybody in to the new series. We're going to call Work in Progress. Fatty and the Jock.
I'm Fatty.
I thought you were the Jock. Here with one of my best friends of all time, Brendan Sargent. Say hello.
Hello, guys. I'm excited to be on.
So, obviously, welcome back to the Depressed Choice Sports channel. Mm-hmm. Hosting a new show on this. We both like sports a lot. You know, I give good commentary. He gives good commentary. We have some interests that are the same, but he also likes some different stuff. So I figured get a different perspective. I think we have a good rapport. You know,
100% agree.
So
I would also like potentially you and I can talk about like our own personal like fitness stuff as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if anyone knows, Zach and I have been workout buddies for a little over a year now, and I'm happy to see this man's progress.
Yes, sir. We got a lot. We've done a lot.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
So
let's get
right into this. So obviously I'm a big football fan. You've started getting into it recently. Mm-hmm. We've been, we're Depressed Detroit. We're Lions fans here. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm a Lions fan.
Because I'm more of a soccer, I guess European football type guy.
He's a communist. Sorry. Continue. I had to get that in there.
All money for everyone. No, but I just started following the Lions because at the very least I can do is follow my own state.
Right.
I appreciate sports in general.
Even though we have historically one of, if not the worst franchise in NFL history, you got to still support them. And who knows? Maybe this is this might just be classic Lions blunder, but maybe this is our year. This is our coach to take us.
The one thing that I do know about Detroit sports is that we have a very good history of having great players, not great teams.
We have two of the greatest skill position players to literally ever play the game, that being wide receiver Calvin Johnson and running back Barry Sanders.
And don't forget what Matthew Stafford did once he left the Lions.
Right.
He's not I'm not saying the greatest at all, great, but he's a good quarterback.
Right. And definitely to play devil's advocate here, he did. The Rams were just a quarterback away from Jared Goff got him to the goddamn Super Bowl, and that was before they even had Jalen Ramsey locking down the fucking the secondary.
But didn't he also have a good year at Stafford?
Definitely.
Too?
He threw a lot of interceptions.
He had a good team, of course.
He threw a lot of interceptions, but he did have a good year. Don't get me wrong. I love Stafford. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. I bought his jersey, actually.
The only reason I know he did well is because last year was my first year doing fantasy football with this guy, and I just had Stafford as my quarterback, and he's legit the only guy who got me points. I was not in it, but I just always had him on the field.
You gotta get Stafford in there. You just have to. You have to. So let's get into a little
30-point matches.
Right, of course. Let's get into Hard Knocks a little bit. So obviously, I think one of the biggest things, and you're going to hear a lot about this in the next episode of the Depressed Detroit Sports Show. It's coming out a lot about the Lions coaches, Matt Patricia, Dan Campbell. But I think a lot of Dan Campbell is a player's coach. People love him. Players love him. I think we talked about this earlier, but obviously, watching the video and his speeches, I wanted to put on pads and run through a fucking wall just for him.
I love watching him do, what are they called again?
The up-downs.
Up-downs.
Yeah, the first...
Basically shuffle burpees, kind of.
Right. It's spoiler alert if you haven't seen the very first 10 seconds of the first episode of Hard Knocks. But the show starts out with Dan Campbell doing 40 up-downs with the team. Now, I don't know if you know who the previous Lions coach and what he looked like, Matt Patricia, but he would never have done that. Never in his life would he have done that. So...
probably would have done 40 deep throat donuts.
Exactly. And I don't know, Dan Campbell is...
I have no idea what he looks like, by the way, so I'm just talking out my ass.
Right. Dan Campbell is a player's coach. I think people are going to love him. I hope at least. So, and I think he's bringing the energy to the team that we need. As a football fan, it hasn't really been enjoyable to watch the Lions as of late, where they run the ball, ball up the gut 20 times with Adrian Peterson. This isn't prime Adrian Peterson. This is old man post beating his kids with his tree branch. Adrian Peterson.
And who's that guy again? Sorry.
He was one of the best running backs in NFL history. He played for the Vikings for a long time. That's where he had his fame. And then he floated around for a couple of years. I think he went to New Orleans. He went to a couple other teams. He might have went to a couple other teams. He went to Washington, and then now he was in Detroit for a year. And I think he might have been in Tennessee for a little bit. I think he's out of the league now. But he was one of the greatest, most dominant running backs. Yeah. No, he's old man now, so nobody's really taking him. But, he's a former, greatest running back in the league, past his prime, So, anything you'd like to add? What's the key points you've been finding about Hard Knocks?
Oh, I mean, like, besides the energy, that's probably one of my biggest enjoyments of the show. I used to be a soccer player in high school, and I mean, nothing as intense, of course, as like a professional sport, but just like camaraderie that fucking around amongst, the players, but also like it's nice seeing a coach have the ability to grab the attention of all the players, because that's like, especially from my understanding of football, that's the mastermind in a sense of like how the game will be run by the team.
Yeah, most of the time. I mean, obviously you have like your coordinators and you're running, your different coaches telling you like, hey, these are probably the kind of players we should run based off what we're seeing. But I mean, obviously at the end of the day, it does come down to the head coach. At the end of the day, he does have final say on what gets called.
I also love the competitive nature of the coaches, I don't know their names, but the assistant coach and the defensive coordinator. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, Aaron Glenn's the defensive coordinator and he's the running backs coach. I forget, his name escapes me at the moment. But they're all former players.
Mm-hmm. They just fuck around like that. Assistant coach is like.
Well, they have a rivalry.
He's like, I love you, but I'm gonna fuck you up between the lines or something.
Exactly,
like that.
They have a rivalry, but they're still brothers.
Exactly. But they have that intense competitiveness, which is what you need at that level.
Exactly, and I think obviously that translates to your players, and you see your coaches wanting you to play better so that they can beat each other. Kind of makes you want to play better. Obviously they're going to put out who they think is the best, and they're rooting for you every step of the way.
Especially when it's a job, dude. You got to have the most quality up there.
Right,
bro.
Exactly. And I think this year is going to be a very interesting year for the Lions. I think obviously our defense still needs a lot of work. I think this is a prove-it year for Jared Goff. We have one of the best offensive lines in the league. Should be able to buy him and DeAndre Swift, who also is kind of a big prove-it year for him. He's one step away from being a franchise back in this league.
Really?
Yeah, he's shown DeAndre Swift, our number one running back.
Okay.
He's shown a lot of potential. He's like one step. I think you've seen some of the stuff. He's like, you need to make one more step.
Was he in the end of episode 2? Probably.
I think so. He's the guy with the dreads hanging out the back of his helmet, number 32.
Oh, is he the guy with the that was in the huddle?
That's number 30. He's the backup running back.
Oh, okay.
Jamal Williams, he's great too. But
they both got good energy.
Yeah. Jamal Williams is more of a power back. DeAndre Swift, so he's like the more brute force, like I'm going to run you over.
Okay.
DeAndre Swift is more like the finesse, like dodging,
like
jukes and all that stuff. So, but obviously I think, it's going to be a prove-it year for a lot of these guys. Now that Jared Goff has a semi-competent receiving core, DJ Chark, I'm assuming is going to be our number one. You got the young stud, their sun god, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who... amazing rookie years, got something to prove. Year 2 is not just a fluke that he can do this consistently and be a fucking phenomenal receiver in this league. And then of course he's gonna be hurt. I think he tore his ACL, something like that. He had some kind of leg injury. Jamison Williams coming out of Alabama from the draft. He was our second first round pick this year besides Hutchinson. Obviously he's gonna have something to prove too, coming back from an injury.
What position you said he played?
Receiver.
What does receiver do? Sorry, I don't know all the football technique.
Those are the guys that go out and catch the passes.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So we got we should have at least a decent receiving core this year, and hopefully, it's going to come down to the defense at the end of the day. It's going to come down to Jeff Okudah, who's also on a prove-it year. That was the cornerback we took Matt Patricia's final year at number 3 overall at the pick.
Okay.
So he's been hurt the past 2 years, shut down both years. So he's got something to prove, and our defense has something to prove. We did get a good safety signing in Deshaun Elliott. He's a young stud. Hopefully he'll be good with the safety. Elliott. Deshaun, I believe it's pronounced.
What is he? What position?
He plays safety, so it's kind of like the best way I can describe it to someone who doesn't really know. It's like a corner and a linebacker had a baby, and that's the kind of position. They kind of play a little bit of both.
Okay.
So, but I think it's going to be a very interesting year, and go Lions, baby.
Go Lions! I'm excited to see them. I'm wish them the best. So I'm a big soccer fan, right? My favorite team, Manchester United, and this weekend, dude, I was a little fearful because. As of late, we had not been doing the best. Last season, we got our worst Premier League finish in a while in 7th place. And we just seem to have been going downhill, especially the first 2 games of the season. Lost 2. One was 1-0 and one was 4-0 to a club that just made it to the Premier League in Brentford. So that was a little unfortunate. But fortunately, with, I don't know what Erik ten Hagen, I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Okay.
You might have to double check that online, but... He was managed to turn that around, dude. With the signing of, I think it's Martinez. I'd have to double check, dude. Like, I can't remember all these people.
JT Martinez, former Tigers player.
Nope.
Damn. Not a baseball player?
No, not a baseball player.
Plays for the Red Sox now. You sure?
I'm positive.
Damn, okay.
I'm positive. He's this apparently was considered too short to be in the Premier League as a center back, which is, the two defenders in front of the goalkeeper.
Yep.
They're responsible for, trying to stop that from getting to the goalie and get rid of balls in the air, basically.
They put balls in the air? No, I'm just kidding.
But, he's short. I think he's below, 6 foot.
Okay.
But he has had 4 incredible games where he finally got man of the match with this recent one against Arsenal. And they had the signing Antony, which is this Brazilian, 22-year-old Brazilian from Ajax, who scored the first goal of the game in his debut game for Manchester United.
Damn,
we ended up winning 3-1 with Rashford scoring the other 2 goals. I don't recall who scored for the Arsenal team.
No, Arsenal sucks.
No, fuck Arsenal. No.
Thanks.
I know a lot of people that like them. And Arsenal's, they're looking good. They were, in the lead at the beginning of the season, and they have, a lot of quality players. They just signed Gabriel Jesus from Man City for their striker, and he's a phenomenal Brazilian player. But not good enough to get the win against my boys.
Of course.
But also, I like to take it across the bridge to Man City because, though I'm not a huge fan of the club, I do respect the players. And they actually, unfortunately, signed my favorite striker, Erling Haaland, 21-year-old, I believe Norwegian striker. This man, the Premier League is supposed to be the most physically demanding, the most kind of roughest, toughest, highest form of football you can play in Europe, right? They have a lot of high quality teams with a lot of high quality players play there. And Haaland, being 21, gets signed for a reasonable amount. There's 5 different players in the Premier League that got it spent more to pay for them than Erling Haaland. And he goes to Man City, literally the club that's been dominating the Premier League the last couple of years, but unable to win a Champions League, which is the European competition. He, in 6 games, this 21-year-old has scored, I think, 10 goals.
Dang, that's
10
good.
goals
Hell
in
yeah.
6 games in the Premier League. If the Premier League season lasts around 33, 34 games, his first 6 years already has double digits, bro.
Right, that's insane.
The record for the Premier League is 32 goals in a per season.
Wow,
Basically a goal a game.
Right.
And for a typical striker, breaking double digits is quality in the Premier League. So this 21-year-old dude, and basically with a ratio of 2 goals a game, first season in the Premier League, is just dominating inside the box, and I'm excited. It's unfortunate because I think he's gonna be very crucial in their success this season. But
right, and you wish you could.
But
have
it's
got on
so
your
fun,
team.
dude. I really wanted him to be on Manchester United, but. We have some good signings like that center back I told you about, Antony, the right winger. We also got this guy, Casemiro, who has 5 Champions League. Played for Real Madrid last season, and a lot of seasons with both Varane and Ronaldo, who are also in Man U. But last year won the Champions League, and despite the Man U 7th place finish, decided to come to Man U.
Wow.
Which is incredible.
Just wanted to play for the team.
Apparently so, dude, and it's exciting to see.
Right. Well, heck yeah, man.
Did you watch or follow at all the UFC this weekend? The fight night?
So I didn't get to see it. Unfortunately, I was working, but I did see that Gon won by knockout.
He did.
So how'd that fight go?
It was good. The first round was all gone. He had his typical keep the pace, keep the distance. He's a lot more fitter than Bam Bam, unfortunately. Tied to Ivasa when I say Bam Bam.
Right. I always say this, but seriously, watching it, I don't remember who was it, the Derek Lewis Gon fight? He seriously is just the fastest heavyweight.
I think it was around the same time he finished Derek. What's the
Derek
third
Lewis,
round?
That's
too,
right.
right?
It was Derek Lewis.
Yeah, he was in the third round as well.
Seriously, he is the fastest and most moving heavyweight I've ever seen in the sport. He's got the power, he's got the speed. He moves he moves like a middleweight.
100%.
Or even a lightweight, dude. He's always bouncing. He's so quick with it too.
He's in and out, dude.
That's the biggest thing he's got on all of these guys is that he's just so quick. He can deliver so many strikes before these guys even deliver one.
He needs to fight Stipe to see who truly is the number 1 contender compared to Ngannou. Because Ngannou has finally beat Stipe. He's beat Gon. Ngannou obviously deserves the belt, and unfortunately, I think he has had a lot of injuries that's kept him out. But I really want to see Gon fight either Stipe or whoever wins between Stipe and Jon Jones.
That would, yeah, either of those fights would be great. They'd easily, that'd be a main card event, obviously.
100%,
Event of the night.
They'd probably be like, interim belt.
Right.
Just give them the next title shot. They don't deserve the belt.
Exactly. See, that's the thing I love about the UFC, especially these heavyweights, is that these matches, they could go either way, and they're gonna be slugfests. You know what I mean? That's the thing I love about these heavyweights, is that they're
fucking wars.
Right. Exactly. Not saying that anything against these later fighters, but there's just something about the power behind all of these man's punches, just because they have so much mass. So I just find these interesting.
Dude, so do I, man. And also, did you Whitaker beat Veroti?
I did see that by decision, correct?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I had so much stuff going on between watching the original JRE Fight Companion, the fights, taking care of my baby. There was a lot going on.
Right,
I did notice that Whitaker was tapping Veroti up way more and pushing the pace way more than Veroti was.
Nice. Well, heck yeah.
So unfortunately, he's definitely the second. It's a Colby Covington. Actually, I don't know if we can say that anymore after Usman's lost to Van Edwards, but it's he is the second. It might even be a Gane situation, where Gane and what do they call her? They are the second best in their division, but their champion is so good, stopping them from being the champion.
Right, exactly. I mean, especially with how big this sport's becoming, you're going to get more and more quality talent coming into these rosters, and obviously it's you can only have one champion, but you have all of these great skilled fighters. Man, it's hard to pass that belt around, man.
Dude, 100%.
Obviously, people just excel in different ways in the realm of fighting, and it just depends who's the better at the moment.
Do you know what showed in the fight against Gane and Bam Bam?
I didn't know.
Gane has a chin. He can stay.
Right.
Because in the second round, Bam Bam, we're about to go out in a second. Was just wailing, he got, I can't remember what the punch was, but he clipped him good, had him back, and then he was wailing on him for a little bit. But Gane survived that round, it was second round, and obviously made the third and got the knockout. But he's a very good fighter. Just Ngannou is improving as well. They're both rapidly improving. I don't know if you guys know, but we're in a sauna right now, so we've been recording this in here. It's getting hot. Right before we leave, I want to give out a quick shout out to my wife's uncle Nick, who showed me my first F1 race.
Oh, heck yeah.
Dude, those things are fun to watch, but they're going so fast. I love how it's not just a big circle. It's it's like a Mario Kart.
That's the one thing I don't like about NASCAR is it's a left turn, and then it's a left turn.
And then they're all together, and then it's just a...
This adds a little bit more flavor to it, and I really want to go to the one that when they come to Detroit, hopefully I can maybe get to that one. That'd be really cool.
Dude, they're so fast.
Right. That takes not that NASCAR doesn't, but that takes real skill and talent to drive those things.
The whole thing is about being fast, not only in the Okay, so going back to Formula One, dude, their freaking stops are incredible.
Yeah, it's insane.
I don't know what if it's any. I don't know how fast NASCAR's pit stops are, but in Formula One, dude, a 3 is an average.
Right.
3 seconds, to switch. I saw a 2.6.
I think NASCAR's a little bit longer, but they're fucking quick. They're very quick like them, because obviously, in races, time matters. You know what I mean? You have to make things happen quick in these situations.
Dude, there was the one, I've only watched one, and I feel bad for bashing these people. I don't even know the racer or his crew. But there's a guy, he went on a pit stop. I don't think he was doing very well anyway. They're switching his tires. They're waiting a second confusion because they only brought 3 out of the 4 tires out. So then, they took a second, waited to get the other tire. And then when he started to drive off to get back onto the track, he ran over one of the tire guns. Damn. Because they left it right in front. They're lucky they didn't damage the car.
Right, yeah. You know how much that would have cost? It could cost the driver his life.
It took 12.6 seconds, which for that race felt forever.
Right.
Dude.
Well, because obviously, how fast those vehicles are moving, you're going to lose a lot of position if you're out of the race for long. So. All right. Thank you, everybody, for checking out the very first episode of Fatty and the Jock, or whatever we decide to name this. From now on, I've been Zach.
I've been Brendan. And thank you very much for joining us. And we're going to try to do these,
whenever we just get the chance. We're both busy men, but
we don't have a set schedule with these, but we're gonna try to get them out maybe once. Maybe, it'll be a surprise.
Yeah, it'll be a surprise for us too.
It's like when like I made this reference earlier when Tom Segura comes on Rogan, you're like, let's go. It's gonna be a good episode.
Hell yeah, man. We just enjoy sports and enjoy working out, and we're excited to talk about it.
Exactly. So, well. Thank you all for checking us out. Make sure you check out Brendan over on his Instagram. Do you want to give yourself a plug real quick?
Yeah, Sergeant_Fitness. And don't forget to continue to check out Zach's other content.
Yeah, follow me.
Detroiter.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram at the Depressed Detroit Sports Show. I think it's all one word. Lowercase, of course. Make it easy on everybody. Follow me on YouTube. Same thing. You can find the video version of these. Hopefully, maybe some other stuff later on. And, I'll catch you all later. Peace out.
Bye.